Carter from Carter Curricula, where I am on a mission to savor our shared humanity by mostly reading dead American poets and getting all that we can from them to apply their poems into our lives so that we can live with the same wisdom that they had when they wrote. How do we do that? I take a look at an essential question, read the poem, I break the poem down. I closely read the poem, taking a look specifically at the artistry of the poem, the literary techniques the author uses, and then I try to use those literary techniques to make sense of the message, the overall message, the words that have combined to make some sort of message and bring that home. And I'll try to apply that message to our everyday lives. So let's start first of all by dealing with the essential question: how do you live beyond the negatives of this life? When life is not ideal, which it oftentimes is not, when you are sick and you really hoped that you can do something that you want to do, but you can't because you are not feeling well, when you have a breakup in a relationship, you thought the relationship was going to be forever, and well, it wasn't. What do you do? Two things that Robert Frost gives to us, and we'll get to those two things in a few moments. That's the essential question we have uh, at hand before us. I'm going to read the poem, and then I'm going to close read the poem, and then we're going to apply poem into our daily lives, so that we might be able to live with with the wisdom of the poet. A late walk. When I go up through the mowing field, the headless aftermath, smooth laid like thatch with the heavy dew, half closes the garden path. And when I come to the garden ground, the whir of sober birds from up tangle of the withered weeds is sadder than any words. A tree beside the wall stands bare, a leaf that lingered brown, disturbed, I doubt not, by my thought, comes softly rattling down. I am not far from my going forth, picking the faded blue of the last remaining aster flower, to carry again to you. Oh, oh, that is sweet. Oh, that is so sweet. Let's take a look at the technique. Let's take a look at the artistry that the author has just infused into this text. Look at it. Stanza one, rhyme scheme. We see stanza two, rhyme scheme. Stanza three, rhyme scheme. Stanza four, rhyme scheme. He keeps a consistent rhyme scheme every stanza, where he's got first line and third line, they don't align, right? They don't rhyme. Second line and fourth line always rhyme in every single one of these stanzas, and they have a hanging indentation, so they're indented there. Second stanza, fourth stanza, all of them are indented. Now, why is it that the rhyme scheme is like this? Well, I think the rhyme scheme is like this because, in part, there is good negatives going on in this poem as well as good going on in this poem. Stanzas one, two, and three, we've kind of got the negative, and then almost like the volta, the change of direction in the poem, the pivot, the switch is in stanza four, and more specifically, it's in the last few lines of the stanza. The second, third, and fourth lines of the stanza. So he's likely doing this because some of it is negative, some of it is not so negative, and I think that that's part of what he's got going on there. A little consistency and inconsistency there, just to break up the flow, just like the poem is doing. Another thing that we see here is that he's basically traveling. So we've got up to four scenes. I could see if you connect two and three together, but we've got basically four scenes. We got scene one. He's going. Scene two, when I come to the garden, so he's going up to the garden path. When he then stanza two, he's in the garden. Stanza three, he's still in the garden. And then stanza four, he's back basically where he started, close to where he started. Notice in stanza one, the mowing field. Notice the imagery that he uses. The imagery is impeccable, right? The mowing field, that's the place where people mow stuff. The headless aftermath, the after mowing, whatever that was mowed is headless. smooth laid like thatch. Thatch is a whole bunch of dead plants stacked upon each other, and those dead plants stacked upon each other, they're laden with they're laden on the ground. They are heavy with dew, and you know what? It's dang near closing the garden path. Just like the poem has a little bit of positive, a little bit of negative, a little bit of positive, a little bit of negative. It's half closed, it means it's half open as well. Here in the first three stanzas, the speaker is going directly to the negatives of life, just like you and I do oftentimes. We go to the negatives of life, well, just because, right? And when I come to the garden ground, so now he's at the garden ground, he's now listening using sensory imagery, right? Imagery directed towards the senses, imagery directed toward the ears here now. The whipper, the whir of the sober birds up from the tangle of withered weeds is sadder than any word. So you know what? That sounds that it makes, the whir, it's just a consistent low sound of the sober birds. Man, it's sad, man. It's sad to hear those birds. It doesn't get better in the next stanza. Stanza three. Now he's still in the garden and he's standing beside the wall. The wall is bare. There's a leaf that's lingered brown. The leaf is not disturbed, I doubt not, the leaf's not disturbed by the thought that the speaker has, but it still comes softly rattling down. It still falls. It still falls. The leaf still falls. Then we get to the end of the path. It's almost like the path is here, essentially. We go from the starting point and then we finish close to the starting point. I end not far from my going forth. Wherever he ended wasn't far from where he started. And he ended by what? Looking the faded of the last remaining aster flower. Look, it's the last remaining one, and it's faded. It's faded. So the imagery here is faded blue. I mean, he could just say blue, but he's it's faded blue, and it's the last aster flower. And if it's the last aster flower, that means that there are no other flowers that are available to him. Do you see that? Do you see that even in the good, he's seeing something negative until the end? I think this is where the real change takes place. I carry that aster flower again to you. So he's done this before. This is again, he's done this before. He must have seen these negative things before too. But in the end, he decides to carry an aster flower to whomever he's carrying it to. Look at the aster flower. That's the aster flower. He says that that faded blue aster flower is the kind of flower that he carried again to you. Two things from this particular poem that we get from it in terms of answering our essential question, how do you live beyond the negatives of life? Two ways. Number one, go for a walk. A walk will give you a positive energy. Even when there's negativity going on, a walk will give you a positive vibe. What a walk will do for you, right? What a walk and what other thing is, so that's number one, and what giving will do for you. It will cause you to think about that which is good. It will cause you to come outside of your own negative interpretations of the world and see something good that's in the world rather than being stuck in negatives of the world. So, two things that you get from this poem: go for a walk and do something generous for somebody. Live to give and to love, right? This is ultimately what we get from this poem is like, yeah, sure, you don't live for the negatives. You live to be generous. You live to give and to love. And one way that you do that is you give yourself a walk, and then you give something nice to your boo. What a poem. What a poem. What an absolute privilege it is for me to go through these poems about Robert Frost, or that Robert Frost wrote. There's another playlist that I have for you to take a look at. It's Langston Hughes poems, which we'll come back on our next video and deal with that. Just a recap on this. Robert Frost teaches us how to live beyond the negatives of life, and one, we live beyond the negatives of life by taking a walk, and then two, we live up beyond the negatives of life by just being generous to someone. You get outside of yourself, and maybe even that walk will help you to get outside of yourself and figure out something that you would like to give to someone you love. Well, that's all I have for this one. I will see you on the next one.